the Cool Schools Act. First, taking a moment to thank the committee staff for working with my staff on this. I will be accepting the committee amendments as noted in page 9 of the analysis. I would also like to raise that our office has been meeting with stakeholders and receiving input, and we are continuing the conversation. So SB499 is looking to address the issue of hot ground surfaces on school campuses that impact the health and safety of our children. Specifically, this bill is looking to create an extreme heat action plan, stating that by the earliest time or the next time schools will resurface or surface, they will opt for a cooler solution. They will install green barriers that have been shown to mitigate the impacts of extreme heat and pollution. This bill is looking to require the Department of Education and Department of Social Services to develop a template for an extreme heat action plan that could be used by school sites, as well as a model program guidebook available to school sites. Additionally, this bill requires the Department of Social Services to identify a liaison that is trained in extreme heat mitigation efforts. Climate change has led to an average temperatures rising in the United States, disproportionately impacting our Black, Indigenous, people of color, low-income communities. Research continues to show that communities with the fewest resources usually have the least access to nature within and surrounding their school grounds. The students in my district specifically were highlighted in a recent LA Times article that showed that on a 93-degree weather day, our schools reached 145 degrees, the asphalt in our schools. A statewide coalition of nearly 50 experts, including doctors, medical and environmental health researchers, educators, youth, and community groups, recently released a call to action report just last month. And amongst their recommendation is this very specific thing that this bill is looking to do. And that is the need for a climate resilient master plan to serve as a guiding light for California's K-12 system. I want to make sure that our kids are able to go outside and thrive. We understand the combination of academic and outside learning is important for our youth to be successful. And this bill also aligns with the governor's extreme heat action plan that was released in April of last year that calls to support climate smart planning in heat vulnerable schools. With me here to testify are two witnesses. Sharon Dinks, CEO of Green Schoolyards America in support of SB 499, and Fatima Iqbal Zubair, Legislative Affairs Managers with California Environmental Borders. Sharon? Sharon is not here. We'll go to Fatima. Oh, Sharon?
So
okay,
the first lead witness, I will say you have 2 minutes and you will be timed.
My name is Fatima Iqbal Zubair from California Environmental Voters, and our organization is in support of SB 499. I'm speaking today also as someone who is a former public school teacher and a current youth mentor from South LA in a school with 100% low-income and students of color with severe environmental justice concerns, one of which are more days with extreme heat where students can't go outside, and this heat affected how students studied inside the building as well. I'm also a mother of a son with special needs that goes to a public school who struggles with many similar issues. So I've seen firsthand the health impacts that come with schools that aren't built to be resilient to heat and other consequences of the climate crisis. The senator mentioned San Fernando Valley and Los Angeles and other areas of the state as well. We've seen health impacts of extreme heat. SB 499 will require schools to create an extreme heat action climate plan to offer essentially cooler schools. While there are individual school districts taking the lead, the health impacts show that the change towards climate resilient schools that can respond to extreme heat and other climate impacts is simply not happening fast enough. It's up to our state to set the precedent so that youth across California are protected, not 2 decades from now when their health will already be impacted, but right now. This bill will be great for all kids, including those like my son with special needs, because the truth is that climate change affects those in the margins more. This bill is not one that'll downplay or ignore the work that is already being done to protect students. In fact, it'll add to adaptability measures so that students like my son have schools that are even more responsive to their needs. SB 499 ensures that our youth and teachers win. Children spend significant time on their school campuses, and by adding green spaces, it has been proven that there will be significant changes in recess, classroom behavior such as increased physical activity, attention, and social collaboration, higher academic achievement, decrease in stress, anxiety, and disruptive behavior. This directly impacts students' daily experiences, mental and physical health, and learning outcomes. It is for these reasons we urge all committee members vote aye on SB 499. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Sharon Danks, and I'm the founder of Green Schoolyards America, a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to transforming asphalt schoolyards into green spaces. I'm here today to express strong support for SB 499. In California, over 10,000 public schools serve almost 5.9 million students on 130,000 acres of land. That public land is paved, most of that public land is paved and lacks tree canopy. Our research shows that millions of California students do not have any access to shade at school. We know that 10% of California's public schools have less than 2% tree canopy, and the majority of schools have less than 10% tree canopy. Unshaded asphalt and rubber surfaces on school grounds reach high temperatures that are hazardous for students' health. Unshaded asphalt can be 140 degrees or more on a sunny day when air temperatures are in the 90s, and rubber safety surfaces can reach 165 degrees. Even on a mild day, asphalt and rubber are hot, and children's smaller body size makes them more vulnerable to heat than adults. This problem affects all students in California. There's a disproportionate burden on communities with the lowest income and communities of color, though, since they also have the fewest shade trees and the least green space. Schoolyard forests and green schoolyards address the climate crisis in a way that directly protects children from heat. They're also a critical strategy to closing the equity gap in access to nature, improving health and wellness, providing opportunities for hands-on learning, climate literacy, and workforce development. And school grounds are public lands that are efficient and strategic places to invest California's scarce water resources, since the shade produced by schoolyard trees has the potential to cool millions of students every day. Green Schoolyards America, in partnership with CAL FIRE, CDE, and 10 Strands, launched the California Schoolyard Forest System last year with a mission to shade and protect students from rising temperatures and to help bring equitable access to schoolyard forests to scale across the state. Our work supports the unprecedented investments that state government has made in schoolyard greening and nature-based climate solutions.
Time. Thank you. We'll now move on to support witnesses. Please state your name, organization, and that you support.
Christina Hildebrand, a Voice for Choice Advocacy. We're the proud sponsor of this bill, and we're in strong support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Piper Primrose, Non-Toxic Schools in strong support, and so is Cupcake.
Thank you.
Megan Cowan, Sonoma Safe Agriculture, Safe Schools, and strong support.
Thank you. Do we have any opposition witnesses? Lead opposition, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you so much. When the time is appropriate, I ask that we support and align ourselves with the governor has called for, what the recent study has called for, and respectfully ask for an aye vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you.